All right, y'all.
Everybody, happy April.
Biggest
It's
game.
me again, the guy with the video game release dates. And guess
Just the
what?
release
I've got a
dates
big,
of
huge
April.
pastel-colored Easter basket full of brand new ones. Here are April 2026's
For April,
biggest game releases.
you know what I'm saying? April 1st coming up. April Fool's Day coming up soon, man. Don't get tricked. I might try to do a reaction to the biggest
very
game
best to make these videos as timely
of the
and
month.
informative as possible, but games do occasionally slip through the cracks. Sometimes this is because the release dates get announced right after you've already finished making the video, like in the case of Slay the Spire 2, which hit early access on PC on March 5th. But sometimes we just leave a game off our list.
Ever tried Slay the Spire?
Because everybody makes mistakes.
I've heard great things about
like
it,
we did with Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf, which hit PC,
Yeah,
Xbox Series, Switch 2, and both the PlayStations that very same day as well. Now let's get into it. If you want an appropriately foolish game to play on April Fool's Day, Goat Simulator 3 hits Switch 2. If goats don't have enough legs for you, that's a weird complaint, but a day later you can check out Darwin's Paradox, the colorful octopus stealth platformer that also features some Metal Gear Solid references because it's published.
Oh yeah, that's that game they was talking about. Oh, it comes out on
by Konami.
Xbox too.
That's on all
look
the
how
newer
good it
consoles
looks.
and PC. If Funny Animal Games
yes,
are
that
too
looks so
published
good.
by Konami. That's on all the newer consoles and PC. If Funny Animal Games are too silly, you can also get down to business with some serious meditative factory automation in Modulus on PC that day as well. On April 7th, there's Kulo Nico Bowl Up, a generous
what games are y'all looking forward
game
to?
Drizzled in anime aesthetics and sprinkled with a pinch of visual novel relationship management. If your interests are more musical than culinary, People of Note is a turn-based RPG with rhythm game elements set in a society where different factions and territories spring up around different musical genres, and it's up to you to assemble a killer fusion supergroup. On April 8th, there's Chain Staff, a brutal action platformer with a properly bizarre art style. Its baroque amounts of detail and truly alien creatures might look like they were created with the help of algorithms or deep learning, but the devs promise all the visuals were thought up and drawn by the brains and hands of actual humans.
Sometimes there's so much beauty in the world. I feel like I can't take it.
Just really weird humans. That one's coming to everything. If you're more interested in making human hands collide with human brains in a more drab and grounded setting, look no further than Samson, a Tindleston story. This is a gritty, story-driven brawler set in an open-ish world. While the graphics and driving sequences might make it look like a full-scale AAA experience, it is likely going to be a bit leaner in scope as it's developed by a 40-person team at the fledgling studio Liquid Swords. However, in addition to being named after a sick Wu-Tang album, Liquid Swords was founded by ex-Avalanche devs who worked on games like Just Cause
this
and
is April 3rd.
So
they just showed April 7th.
About sandbox game design. That one's just on PC for now. On the 13th, Gunboat God hits PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. This is a fast-paced shmup that has you staying afloat while dealing with enemies above and below the waterline, which looks kind of like a cross between the frantic shoot-'em-up gameplay of Luftrausers and the macabre nautical trappings of Dredge with a high-contrast art style that's a distant relative of Patapon.
I really want to play
Does it play like any of those games? I have no idea. On April 14th, Replaced finally hits Xbox Series and PC, the cinematic cyberpunk pixelated platformer that we've all been waiting patiently for, and which had a March release date until that one got replaced with this one very last minute. Glad to finally check this one out. If you want some pixelated fantasy rather than sci-fi, Regions of Ruin Runegate is a dwarf-centric side-scrolling RPG
Darwin so far
that day as well. Also on PC is Horde Kill, a third-person shooter with some extremely alien designs that look somewhere between H.R. Giger and Clive Barker. If you prefer facing the kind of hordes of the different spelling that are the bane of Marie Kondo's existence, you can dispense with all of the clutter that doesn't bring you joy in a storied life Tabitha, a cozy puzzle game that takes some cues from Unpacking and a little to the left. That's on Switch and PC. I guess it is the time of year for spring cleaning, or at the very least, playing games about doing chores instead of actually doing those chores, and a day later there is Cleaning Up, which will have you sucking up some big messy piles of trash on both PlayStation, Switch, and PC. On April 16th, we got a stack of games, including Cthulhu, The Cosmic Abyss, a first-person Lovecraftian horror game that'll have you investigating a deep-sea mining operation in the not-too-distant future of 2053, and probably encountering some incomprehensible cosmic terror older than time itself along the way. That's on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Still that day for basically everything is Mouse PI for Hire, which blends the shooting of an FPS from the 1990s with the art style and sense of humor of cartoons from 70 years prior. If you prefer reptiles to rodents, there's Gecko Gods, a 3D puzzle adventure starring some of those funny little squishy lizards. I'm gonna be honest, I've had friends with pet geckos and I have no idea what their deal is. I don't know what part of the world they're from. I don't know what they do when they're not being pets. I don't know what makes them unique in the reptile world or just in in the general animal kingdom, I could easily find out answers to all of these questions, but I think it's important that there remains a little mystery to make life more magical. You might think a VR game about exploring an amusement park would be a fun time, but that might not be the case with The Amusement, which might involve going on some rides, but also involves dealing with a family's grief in the wake of World War I. Any roller coaster can be an emotional roller coaster if you ride it while you're horribly depressed. That's on MetaQuest and PC VR. If you like games about little tiny places where you can move a bunch of stuff around, you are in luck. On PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC, Under Par Golf Architect lets you build the country club of your dreams and then only allow paying members there for one specific purpose.
You should have children playing here. You should have families having picnics. You should have a goddamn petting zoo. Instead, you got these stupid electric carts for you old men with nothing better to do.
If country clubs are too rich for your blood and you'd rather slum it, there's also Shantytown on PC, which is an extremely chill-looking cyberpunk diorama builder about finding beauty in chaos, something I very much appreciate. I've built a few analog...
First thing is that it's so many games that comes out every month, every day. Some of them never even... Nobody... It's games out there that comes out that nobody even touches. Nobody even plays. I feel so bad for those developers.
Dioramas of my own, and there's something very gratifying about carefully making something look
so
really
hard,
messed
man.
up.
So much time.
Life living
so much time and effort.
Switch. If you're unfamiliar, this series is
resources
sort of like
put in these games,
and
nobody.
Sims, but with
some of these games will never be played.
Weirder. Plus, they all have warbly little robot voices.
I'm got you like it's finally coming out.
Wow. Will never not be funny to me.
Pardon me. Could I have a moment? My name is Alice. Hey, Alice.
Speaking of robots, on April 17th, Pragmata hits Xbox Series, PS5, Switch 2, and PC, which stars an astronaut and a little android girl solving puzzles and fighting some big robots in space and also on Earth. And it's cool to see Capcom just making up a new video game. What the heck is a Pragmata? I don't know. What's a Pragmata with you? But seriously, we're all going to find out what a Pragmata is when we play this game. On 420, Jay Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch finally hits Xbox Series, PS5, Switch, and PC. Look, I know video game development is a long, complicated, arduous process, but this one has been quite a while. I interviewed Jason Mewes about this in 2016 when it was first crowdfunded.
Wow,
but hey, if anything, it is comically on brand for a game about a couple stoners to take so long, and props to the devs for picking the absolute perfect release day, the day that marijuana was invented.
Who smokes the blunts? Who smokes the blunts? Rolling blunts and smoking.
In case Regions of Ruin RuneGate wasn't enough alliteration, on the 20th there's Saint Slayer's Spear of Sacrilege, a throwback side-scroller set in the 17th century in which a valiant hero named Rudiger must save the Roman Empire from a Catholic priest gone evil by hitting a bunch of skeletons and stuff with a blasphemous polearm. I'm pretty sure this one is 100% historically accurate, and it's coming to 100% of everything. On April 22nd, Fable creator Peter Molyneux returns to his bread and butter with Masters of Albion, which puts a new spin on the god game genre that Molyneux helped carve out with classics like Black and White and Populous. That one's hitting early access on PC.
What kind of game
on April 23rd, Kingdoms Return, Time-Eating Fruit, and the Ancient Monster pair side-scrolling action with isometric city building, and presumably also some sort of temporal produce and an elderly creature. That's on all the newer consoles, Switch 1, and PC. Also on the 23rd is Outbound, a game all about living in a van down by the river.
I'm sick and tired of living in a van down by the river!
But like in a good way. It's a chill open-world co-op crafting and exploration game, which looks sort of like a survival game except without the constant impending fear of death. That's coming to both Switches, both Xboxes, PS5, and PC. Hey, have you heard about these Moomins? They're Finnish trolls that look like albino hippopotamuses, and they've been getting into all sorts of placid, low-stakes misadventures with this guy named Snufkin, and the main villain is this disgusting cryptid named Stinky, and they've been around since literally before World War II was even over. Anyway, Moomin Troll Winter's Warmth is a gorgeous new puzzle game for PC and Switches, which is out April 27th. I know less about these creatures than I do about geckos, and I'm inclined to learn more about them because they have so much whimsy. If laid-back magical creatures in the Scandinavian countryside doesn't go quite hard enough for you, you might be better off with Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred, the latest expansion in the beloved Dungeon Crawler series, which adds a couple new classes and presumably a few new demonic entities for you to click on repeatedly until they explode into a pile of gold and blood and polearms and cuirasses and trinkets. That's on everything that Diablo 4 is already on April 28th. Ys Memoir Revelations in Celceta is the 2014 PlayStation Vita entry in the long-running action RPG series, which already made its way to PC and PS4 in the years since its initial release, and on April 28th it makes its way to a handheld device once again with a Switch 1 version. On the 29th, Bobo Bay hits PC, a creature-collecting pet simulation-type game looks a little like Sonic Adventure's Chow Garden, except instead of chows, it's full of Bobos. What's a Bobo? I don't know. Probably one of those things.
Now,
you
people
see
still buying those?
Pretty sure those are the Bobos. Get a load of those Bobos, everybody. Still that day on PC is Demon Lord, Just a Block, which is an action roguelite where the world only moves when you do. So in a sense, it's real-time and turn-based, depending on whether or not you are actively playing the game at any given point. Think about it. Meanwhile, Echoes of Mora hits PC, which is a surreal but laid-back narrative adventure
Diablo
that can be
definitely
played in VR or regular
I'm
R.
a bit Diablo
Finally, on the 29th,
guy,
there's
Diablo
MotoGP
4 guy,
26,
me and my
a
homeboy.
futuristic car racing game that imagines a world in which automobiles have been streamlined to the point of minimalism, with no doors and no roofs, just an engine and a pair of wheels the driver must cling to like a horse's saddle. Actually, wait, hold on.
Very
those are motorcycles. False alarm, everybody. It's a game about motorcycles. That's still pretty cool, I guess. That's on PS5, Xbox Series, both Switches, and PC. And look, I have to think up something new and interesting to say about this game every single year, and they can't all be winners. It's a game about motorcycles. April goes out with a bang with a few notably noteworthy games that are worth noting here. Inconbini, one store, many stores, is a slice of life management sim that'll have you running a Japanese convenience store in the early 90s. In case you're unfamiliar, Konbini are immensely superior to American convenience stores because they sell manga and egg salad sandwiches that won't give you food poisoning, and sometimes even Gundam models. Honestly, this kind of sounds like my dream job, so maybe I'm just nostalgic for simpler times, working the graveyard shift at the old Highway 12 Chevron Extra Mile back when I was 19. It was haunted, you know. That's on both PlayStations, both Xboxes, Switch 2, and PC. If you're more interested in video games that are about interesting stuff, not just weird esoteric experiences, you can make some superheroes beat the ever-living shit out of each other in Invincible Versus, an all-new brawler featuring the lovable cast of Robert Kirkman's blood-soaked comic book turned hit Prime video series that's on Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. If you prefer to enter a bullet hell full of cosmic horrors, the PS5 exclusive Saros is effectively the spiritual successor to Housemarque's Returnal, weaving some themes from Robert Chambers' proto-Lovecraftian tale, The King in Yellow, into something decidedly sci-fi, starring Hollywood heartthrob and loudmouth gamer Raul Coley. Looks sick.
This is what it does. It gets in our heads, and it twists, and it turns.
And there you have it. Before we go, a big, huge thanks to the usual suspects who make this show come together each and every.
What games are y'all looking forward to in April? Mine is definitely Diablo. That's my top game that I look for. Mouse PI is everything. Place looks and replace does look good. Pragmatic looks crazy. And there's gonna be a sleeper game of the year watch. That's my hot take. Bobo Bay. This game we are here
basically
for.
Everything is
Mouse PI. Everybody's liking Mouse PI. 80s 2 is coming. PS5. Taurus. Starfield's coming to PlayStation. Pragmata. Comet Art has DLC. Oh, cool. We'll hope Pragmata is good. Diablo 4 for me, definitely. And Darwin, that's a sleeper game too, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Sleep on Darwin. Where is it at? Sleep on Darwin's
that's on all
Paradox. Look at this. Look at that little scene right here. Got a hide. That's dope. Please let me, please like, subscribe, and if you're idea, if y'all are, man. Let me know. Y'all looking forward to in April. I'll do a May when it's closer to May too. Anything else you want me to react to, let me know. And we out.